What's up, y'all? It's your girl Shakira, and I'm back with another review. This is my review for Ready to Love. This is season 7, episode 5. Y'all, I'm hitting y'all with a different angle because I'm recording from the top of my laptop. So the camera might move around a little bit, to be honest, and we just gonna have to adjust that along the way. But as of right now, I'm trying to keep my hand movements and my body movements to a limit. As y'all can see, I got my bonnet on because, it's 10 o'clock at night, and I meant to do this earlier this morning, but life just started to take a toll on me last night. I started taking out my faux locks, and as I was taking them out, I end up cutting a piece of my hair off. And y'all, when I tell y'all, I was so hurt and so confused as to how it happened. I was almost done with my hair at that point, and I ran to my mom. I know, like a little girl, I ran to my mom and I told her that I cut my hair, and then she was trying to console me. And baby, next thing you know, the waterworks got to going, and I was like, you know what, I just can't even do this anymore. I'm just so frustrated. So I stopped in my process and I got in the bed because at that point, your girl was fed up. So then I continued earlier this morning. Now, usually on Sundays, I do my Ready to Love videos and my Bell Collective videos, but I was still in the process of taking my hair down. So I'm like, okay, let me just go ahead and get up and do my hair. I had like 11 blocks left or whatever. Y'all, I did it again, and it's in the same area. Like, y'all know how I put my hair in the middle part or whatever, so it's like somewhere like back here. It's not in the front, thank God, but it's like somewhere back here on both sides. I don't know what the girl who did my faux locks did on those two pieces, but something went wrong in that exact same spot, which caused me to cut my hair. And it was like, y'all, I was just so dumbfounded. Like, every time that shit happened, like, I just got so distraught. My hands were shaking, my anxiety shot through the roof, my heart was racing. Like, I was just so confused as to how I can cut my own hair, because even my mom was asking me when she seen me taking it down last night, do you need my help? And I'm like, no, because I know how particular I am. I know how hard taking faux locks out can be sometimes, and I didn't want to risk her cutting my hair, and then I fucked around and cut my own hair. So I was just literally so, like, I'm happy it was me instead of somebody else, but I was just so, gosh, yeah, I was just really going through it. It was just a lot. But anyway, enough of that. I just want to tell y'all how my day went and the reason why this review is late and not coming up on Sunday, because I'm pretty sure by the time I get done editing this and stuff and it just uploading, it's not gonna get up until Monday or tomorrow for me. So yes, I just wanted to share that with y'all because I already know how it is. But let's go ahead and get into this review. I was trying to see if my notes was gonna upload on my phone. I mean, I got my laptop right here, but I kind of want to look at my phone. Anyway, the episode picks up where it left off last week with the 3 men down at the bottom. You got LJ, Zoe, but no Justice, even though he is at the bottom. No pun intended, especially the way that the episode ended. Yeah, there is no justice, literally. Anywho, they all got saved, and I really say that's because Justice did not show up. I really feel like they should have did what I said last week and sent him home, especially because he left the party early and simply because he doesn't want to date women on a dating show. Like, you obviously show no interest in these women, so I don't understand why you're still here. But whatever, he got saved. And I was with Brandy because Brandy was basically saying that he needed to go home in her confessional. I said, baby, we see each other, sis. Like, yes, go ahead and cut his losses, baby. He's not interested. Neither are the girls. Like, let's just go ahead and sever ties. Anyway, Tommy gives them a few more days to get their stuff together. So then we see Tommy meeting up with the 3 men that are in the bottom, and he's having to sit down with them. So, is it me, or did y'all notice that Tommy did not give Justice the that he needed to give to him? Like, for leaving the party with no explanation. I don't know. I just feel like, okay, I know you're not going to, beat his ass or anything like that, but it was just kind of like, you should have just let him know how disrespectful it was and how you felt like he should have communicated that to you. I don't know. I just wanted a little bit more out of what Tommy gave to him. But whatever, it is what it is. So then he goes around and pretty much gives the 3 men the feedback that the ladies have for them. As far as LJ, they just feel like he's super outgoing and he's an island guy, and they feel like he needs to dig a little bit deeper. He needs to give them more than just this friendly personality. And he was like, okay, he's willing to, give more of himself. Now, Justice said that he's going to calm down the playfulness. Are you playing with us as far as labeling yourself as playful? Because that's the furthest thing that you are. Now, I feel like we got a little bit more of your personality on the first mixer, on episode 1. Your interaction with April, it seemed really nice. But it just seems like after that, it was just like, baby, you are mighty forgettable. And then I think out of watching like everybody else's Ready to Love reviews, it seemed like we all were on the same page. Where did Justice being this #1 guy come from? What drew y'all to him? First, we did not capture any of this on camera. And then 2, his personality does not give us anything that will make us want more of him. So it's just like, what? I just don't understand. This playfulness personality that you claiming to have, baby, is very non-existent. You're very stale, very boring, very entitled, very arrogant, very self-absorbed. Like, we can really just do without you. And I really wish yet again that they would have sent your ass home. Nonetheless, Tommy tells him that the lady said that they're not really sure that he is actively pursuing them after the dates. Like, he's not really going after them. And he was like, well, I have a process. And because he has a process, he feels like dating multiple women, that's a lot. When they go back and tell certain things, that's not really his deal. And I'm like, okay, so the lady's going back and having conversations about their interaction with you. That's a problem. But yet, every men's week, at the end of the week, don't you sit around with the homies, with the men, and y'all talk about y'all's interactions with the women? So you can do that, but it's messy when they do it. It's like he has his nose up when it comes down to a lot of the women, as if he thinks he's better than them. He's, sitting on a throne. This his kingdom and all of this. Yeah, baby, you can go home with that, because I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. Baby, you deliberate just as much as they do. So please, cut it out. So Tommy asked, okay, well, have you gotten any numbers? And he said, no, it's because of that. And I was with Tommy when he said, baby, you trying to act as if this is just a process for you. This is a different process. It's different for everybody. Everybody is new to this type of dating situation. So you have to keep a clear line of communication. Otherwise, how else would you know that you're into somebody? Hello? It's more of a sign. That's the reason why he need to go home. I just don't understand it. I know I keep saying that. But anyway, the women said that they feel like Zoe is holding things in. And he said that he's willing to open up. But I just feel like it's not more so that he's holding things in. It's just more that he's hiding in plain sight. Nobody's really interested in him like that. He's very forgettable in this process, him and Justice both. So it's like, you're not hiding anything. You're just hidden in the midst of all these people, baby. You just don't got it. And you're another person that needs to get sent home. So we get down to this group date with the men that were in the bottom 3. And then we have Jamala, Katie, Sharice, and Trinika. They go-kart racing. Now, everybody is having a good time. And, we see that Zoe is getting super competitive. Obviously, he is very into, winning and all of that. You know how those people get, child. So he's doing all this shit talking and stuff. But it's just becoming a little too much. He's taking it too far to where he's, like, purposely slamming into people's go-karts. He slammed into Trinika's go-kart to the point where she had to pull over and give her wrist a break because he ran into it so hard. Now, in her confessional, she was saying that he hit it so hard that, she had to take a break and it was hurting for 2 to 3 minutes. Was it me, or did y'all think she was going to say hours? I was like, thank God it wasn't that. Like, really, thank God it wasn't. But I was like, now, sis, I thought you was going to say hours. But, minutes, it's still pain nonetheless. And he was definitely doing too much. So after the racing, he's still going on with his banter. And even LJ is picking up like, yeah, you definitely doing too much. Like, I got a competitive side to me as well. But, honey, you need to calm down. Like, especially when it comes down to women. And I don't even want to say just because he's having a conversation with women. It's just the fact that it's like, okay, yeah, it was cool. He didn't even win. He was in second place. So it's like, I don't understand why you was talking all that mess anyway. But it's just like, okay, after a while, all of that stuff gets old. It's not like you won some money at the end of the race. So it's like, okay, baby, get over it. Shut up. Let's move on to the next thing. But he couldn't seem to let it go. So since he was talking shit to all the women, Sharice was like, barbecue him. I think she said it to Trinika. And for some reason, this shifted his whole outlook on Sharice. And in his confessional, he was just like, he feels like she was trying to, she's trying to stop him. Stop you from doing what? talking shit, yes, hopefully this will shut your mouth because you are definitely doing too much. But it's just like, I know you ain't getting in your feelings about this. So then they all split up. Katie decides to talk to Justice. She wants to pull him aside, and she brings Tronika with her because she feels like she's going to be the peacemaker in the midst of it all. So then they have their conversation, and I'm still trying to figure out why my notes have not updated on my phone. But it's not updating at all. But whatever. They have the conversation, and Katie wants to know about him because she feels like he's difficult. So she said that she called him the other day, and she's still waiting for a call back. Y'all know how I can't stand this. Like, girl, him not calling is enough that you need to know. Like, I'm sick of saying this every week. So she said, yeah, I'm still waiting. And he was like, actually, no, I called you. And then she was like, yeah, and then, I called you 2 days later. Sis, you called him 2 days later. What did you expect out of that? Like, okay. You could at least send him a text the next day. I mean, the minimum, but okay. Yeah, she's like, yeah, and you still didn't call back. And he was like, oh, that's probably because, I didn't save your number. Probably because I wasn't interested in our initial conversation. Okay, you was definitely giving a little round. Now, I can see why you would be on edge a little bit or a little defensive, shall I say, because she did call you difficult starting out. So I can understand why you might be a little, on the defense. But, it still was a little like, rude. Child, I just don't understand with him. Anyway, she said that she texted him asking for his number at midnight. And he was like, actually, because he wanted to be combative at this point. He was like, actually, you DM me, sir. And she's like, yeah, sir, what's your phone number? Actually, I asked you how you was doing. Baby, we don't need a play-by-play as to what happened, Justice. Please simmer down. So at this point, Katie and pull her phone out, baby. At this time, she had to give us a little timestamp. I asked if I can get your number, if it wasn't too late or whatever. What she say? If you have time, can you call me in 20 minutes or whatever? And when they got on the phone, then his difficultness activated, and he started acting like, calling at midnight was an issue. And my thing is, Justice, if you felt as if it was an issue for her to reach out to you at midnight, then you should have communicated that via text before you decided to make the call. Because she didn't make you call her. You decided to call her. So if you didn't feel the need to have a conversation with her that late at night, then you simply should have said that. And be like, obviously, it's a little too late right now. I can call you tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. It could have been easily communicated. But for some reason, he has an issue with doing so. But that's his main way of, gaining interest or, trying to let a woman know that he's interested. His, time and communication. Okay, but you definitely lacking in communication, bro. But anyway, she's going into the reasoning as to why she wanted to call him at that time. And, she mentioned, she just got done sending Devin home. And before she could even finish her sentence, why you worried about Devin? That's not what she was trying to say. She was just trying to give you the reasoning, and you took that and you ran with it. You was trying to make it seem as if what she did was an issue. And I just could not get down with that. It's like, oh my gosh, you're doing way too much. And it's so exhausting talking to him. So then at this point, she was like, yeah, she's over it. She just wanted to wrap up the conversation. And he was like, okay, so you're over it? She was like, yeah, can we hug it out? She was like, no. Well, that just goes to show that you're not over it. Why? Because you felt like a hug is going to be some type of peace treaty? No, she doesn't want that. And if I was her, I wouldn't want that negative energy that you're already giving physically on me. Baby, back up. I don't have you to do. Thank you. So anyway, what's her name? Tronika. She activates her pick-me energy. And here she goes. She goes and says, a lot of the women don't understand you. I can't relate to that. Some of them feel like it's shallow. I can't relate to that. And Katie say, yeah, nah, baby. I just feel like, baby, I just think you're difficult. I don't think that you're shallow. I just think that you're difficult. Simple as that. Like, Tronika, I understand that you have some type of attraction for Justice, but it's just like, girl, what are you trying to gain here? Did you not see him being rude and interrupting her and not allowing her to finish her sentence in the way that he interacted with her? You didn't see her side in that? Like, they think that you're difficult, but I don't. Don't forget about me. Remember, save me when it comes down to deliberation. Like, what the fuck was that about? It was just so annoying. So then, Justice seems to think that Katie has like a high school crush when it comes down to him, like because she wants to argue with him or whatever. No, baby, she's not into you, and she meant that shit. Like, grow up. Anyway, we see Sharice and Zoe. They're having a conversation. They playing pool and stuff, and she wants to know, what his plan is because, she was in the bottom before, so she can understand. So she wanted to know what his next move would look like, and he was like, well, my next move is to do me. I'm going to be authentically me. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And it's just like, okay. And then what? Like, and he was like, she wanted to know where they stood in the situation. And he said that, because she said that he didn't reach out to her after the white party. And he was like, well, I'm just, he doesn't know if he's interested in her. And then, because he said that he doesn't know if she's taking him serious. He feels like she's really putting on for him. And she was like, I'm definitely not playing games. Like, I'm very intentional. Like, I'm just trying to see where we stand, and wanted to know if he was interested because she's interested in other people. So she wanted to know where they stood. So then he was like, I mean, how you are with me is fake. It's pretty clear. Like, you're fake as fuck. Like, he just went 0 to 100 real quick, and it all stemmed from her saying barbecue him to Trinica. It was so uncalled for. The way that he spoke to her was unnecessary. Like, his tone, his demeanor, it got really nasty really quick. And so, like, yeah, he's calling her fake, and she's thrown by it because she's like, I mean, I tried to reach out to him, so I don't understand what's so fake about me. And then she, like, is in the midst of leaving because she's like, you know what? I don't even have to deal with this. And he was like, yeah, you need to leave. Like, he's trying to dismiss her and calling her. Well, she called him a clown first, but he was like, yeah, you've been a clown. And, like, just going super hard. And it was so confusing to me because it's just like, it wasn't that serious. None of that warranted any of that energy that you were giving her. It was so unattractive. It was definitely bitch boy energy. Him and Justice have that in common. And yeah, at this point, Katie is trying to see what's going on with them. And, Sharice is telling her what happened. And then LJ, he gets up and he's trying to comfort Sharice. I said, girl, you better not cry. And she definitely tried to give us a little tear action that never came to play. Because I was like, girl, you're not that hurt by this. You can't be. You can't be that invested in him. And she even told Katie and that she wasn't interested in him like that, or she wasn't trying to get to know him on that level or something like that. Now, you did try to downplay it. She said in her confessional that she wasn't interested in him last week because he led his ex on. But it was like, okay, but you were trying to figure out, whether or not y'all were going to make this something or try to gain some type of connection or whatever. He wasn't into you. So it's like, okay, you wasn't into him. Okay, whatever. So I was just over the fake tears. Like, girl, no, ma'am. And then LJ tries to tell Zoe not to leave on bad terms, but he ended up going home. And I'm like, bye, bitch boy, because we didn't want to see you no more in this scene any damn way. Moving on to Shakira and Tommy. Right before the ladies' lounge, she decided to have a conversation with Tommy because she said that Kadian's actions took her on an emotional toll, or it took an emotional toll on her, and she wants to talk to Tommy to fix it, right? So she goes and has this conversation, and she says that what was shared in the ladies' lounge had been discussed behind her back and to her face. Some of the men had let her know that, the women had been sharing her story behind her back, and she said that she told a lie. She said that Katie said when they were having that conversation at the white party that you should stay because we want to hear what you have to say because of your situation. She never said that. She just simply said that you might feel some type of way because of what you've been through. She never said sit down and share with the class what you've been through or anything like that. Like, what are you talking about? And shout out to Katie, because she was under the comments of my video last week, and she was saying that, there wasn't anything more to be said in the conversation that she had said amongst her, Jamala, and Mike. Like, she didn't give any information about Shakira's background or her situation or anything like that. Because like I said, even in the ladies' lounge, she didn't give the women really anything. And like I said, it could be editing or anything like that. But based off of what Katie had said under the comments, she acted as if, you know, there wasn't anything to be said. So again, Shakira is definitely giving dramatics. And I just don't understand why she's harping on the fact that it was in front of men, but yet you just told Randall at the same party that your ex was saying that you were nothing and how he was verbally abusive. But you're so mad that a man knew some of your background history because of what Katie said. That don't make sense. So then she says in her confessional, okay, pay attention to this. In her confessional, she said, coming into this process, she expected that the men would shy away from her heavy past. How the fuck would they know about your heavy past unless you told them? So basically, you were telling them about your heavy past. And now that, you know, the women are against you, allegedly, you're having an issue with this. But why are you making it such a big deal about Katie? And when you already had the mindset that a lot of the men were going to shy away from you because, like, do y'all get what I'm saying? Am I making sense? It's just like, okay, well, you already walked into it, you know, on eggshells because you were ready to share your story, basically. But then you get mad once it's already known. But it's known because of you, sis. I need you to understand that you were letting people know, you know, in some way that you had traumatic history in the past, that you've been through some things. Anyway, at this point, just go home. Just go home. Tommy gave her the day off, but I'm going to need him to just go ahead and tell her to sit this one out and go sit on somebody's couch for therapy. Anyway, Samson, Looney, Brandy, and Mike, they go on a double date. They go on a picnic date. Samson in his corny ass with this pineapple cornball. Anyway, Brandy and Mike, they take full advantage of this pineapple moment, honey. And they feeding each other. And they in their own little world. Looney and Samson had to remind them, hello, like, baby, y'all ain't the only two here. So then Looney and Samson, they go away, you know, and try to enjoy each other. Meanwhile, Mike is now feeding her more fruit. He dipped grapes in a glass of champagne. I said, what the fuck? What's that? Like, okay, whatever. So then he's dangling it and she's sticking her tongue out. And I just could have went without his commentary like, you did a good job. Shut up. Like, I just can't stand stuff like that. Anyway, he said that he didn't know that if he can handle the long distance relationship. And she was like, baby, it's not that, because I definitely live here and my schedule could be adjusted if you felt like you needed more time. Like, baby, we is local, okay? I might be global, but I'm also local. Baby could do both. So get it right, Mike, okay? So Looney and Samson, they having a conversation, and they were really having small talk, really talking about doggy paddling and Looney not getting her hair wet because she a black girl and all of that. I mean, us black girls, we like to get our hair wet, but we also don't like doing our hair. So when we get our hair wet, it's mostly when we got a protective style in. So yeah, that's just to sum that up. But I'm just happy we didn't get another episode of Samson talking about how he likes struggle love and women who've been battered and bruised with the struggle of life. Like, no. Okay? Let's not do that. I'm happy about that. But really, the connection between him and Looney, I feel like I need to see a little bit more. But really, I just see homeboy and homegirl. I don't see anything romantic. And then we get on to this date with LJ and Trinika. Trinika said that he's been on her radar since day one. And baby, they start doing a lot of sexual innuendos early on, and she start talking about his daughter and how that's a priority to him. She said that she's dated men in the past that have children, and that's fine with her because she's a product of a blended family. Her stepmom has been in her life since she was 1, so you know, all of that good stuff. Oh, yeah, that was it. I felt like there was more to the conversation, but I guess not, or more to the date. But, you know, like, I don't know. It's just kind of like, okay, there wasn't really much else to give. So then we see that the ladies are down at the ladies' lounge, right? And Tommy has to tell them about these house rules. You know, what happens in this house stays in this house. And Katie had already got what he was trying to put down. Like, okay, child, like, just know that this is a process, okay? So be mindful of what you're going to say, because this is not a counseling session. I said thank you. It's really not, and that's exactly where Shakira needs to be and out of this damn process. So, they start talking about who they're interested in. Looney is interested in Samson. Brandy, we already know. Mike. Kayla is interested in Randall, and she even shared that they actually gave each other a kiss on their date. And I said, okay. So then we know Jamala is also interested in Randall. And when she said Randall, here go Tommy messy ass. I thought it was rah-rah. It is, but shut up. So, Canadian. So sorry, girl. Gideon said that she's interested in Swayze, and Tommy then wants to know about the 3 guys who are in the bottom. So Gideon said that she's into, you know, well, I ain't gonna say into, she's cool with LJ, but it just seems like he's scared to talk to her. Trinika is into LJ. Jamala definitely likes his efforts, but she doesn't like Justice. And Kayla said that she cannot connect with him. Like, she just cannot. And I said, Jamala, why didn't you go into detail about what he said about him not wanting to take women out on dates and him being, you know, in the kingdom and stuff? Like, girl, you should have definitely told the women about that so they can be on the lookout, because his arrogance is definitely needing to be put to a stop. So, what happened? Yeah, Looney says that Zoe got to go, and Sharice concurs, okay? She said that, yeah, he went off on me, and I just didn't understand it. And then Katie was like, well, you know, I've been talking to him all weekend, and he said that, you know, he peeped that you said to Trinika, barbecue him. And it's like, you know, woman to woman, you can't instigate something and then play victim. Girl, what? What are you talking about, Katie? She was not playing victim, nor was she instigating. So it was okay for him to talk shit about winning a race that he really didn't win, and doing all this and slamming into Trinika's go-kart, being super overly aggressive and competitive. But when she says barbecue him, then that just took it too far, huh? Well, now you got to come to her woman to woman. Like, fuck that shit. These men are really bitch boys, a lot of them, and they really want the women to chase them, and it's just way too much. Like, I just don't have time for that. Like, I don't know who picked these men this season, but a lot of them are very forgettable and very trash. Y'all not here to love. Y'all here for exposure, and that's just that. Like, it's just way too much, and I'm just looking like, what? So then Tommy interferes in the conversation to say, hey, let me tell y'all this. I do the barbecuing around here. What? Can you be quiet and address the situation at hand? You always trying to play big boss, and I get that you the host and all of that. But honey, address the situation at hand. You always trying to play that damn boss card in here. Be quiet. Anyway, we get down to the bottom 2. And it's Zoe and it's Justice. So then we see Trinika, she's the one that's speaking to Justice, and, you know, she's a little nervous because she's into him and all it is, so she don't want to give him no bad news. And she says that he was definitely a top pick since day one. You giving real record player tease, girl. Anyway, he says that he's trying to maintain his process. I'm tired of hearing him say that too. He becoming a broken record as well. And she says that a lot of the women don't understand your process, and that it gives the vibe that it's all about him, especially when they get on the phone with him, because they get real turned off. Oh, child. Anyway, so he gets to stay, and I'm just so annoyed by this. Like, why are y'all keeping him around? Like, y'all really should have did a double elimination this week. It does not make sense to me. And you know what bothered me about Justice, and I wanted to bring this up too. He made it seem like it was an issue for the women to deliberate, right? But he also made it an issue when Katie called him at midnight, and he also brought it to the group of men and tried to make it seem as if she came at him inappropriately. When Katie had addressed it at the go-kart place, it gave none of that. So here you are gossiping and making it seem as if she's trying to come at you sexually when it wasn't even that. So I think it's mighty funny how you trying to play this situation and trying to make it seem as if it was an issue for her to reach out to you at midnight and that she was gossiping, and you can't do that with multiple women, blah, 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 because they go back and forth and tell each other stuff. But look at how you handle her in that midnight call in front of the guys. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, Tranika was like, yeah, next date, I hope this is going to lead to more dates, and next date is on you. And he was like, oh, yeah, baby, say less because it's going to be free. I ain't got to pay for shit. All the broke niggas, please stand up and exit stage left, because we don't have that to do, honey. Like I said, you do not have to spend money on every woman that you're interested in. I understand you're on a dating show. There's multiple women involved. But the fact that you don't even want to spend a little money, it's just like, we ain't got time for no broke penny pinching people. Like, you do what you can, okay? Y'all know I'm a firm believer in doing what you can. But it's just like, the way that he goes about it, it's like, so the woman is supposed to chase you while you maintain your throne in your kingdom, but yet you don't even want to do the minimum. And I'm sure he probably, like I said, he definitely, I was talking to somebody in the comments the other day, he definitely gives Kevin Samuel worshiping tees. So it's like, we're supposed to, or not we, we, not me included, women are supposed to, you know, come to you, chase you, you know, all it is. But I'm sure he has like this man of the house mentality, but yet you don't want to court a woman and spend no money. Where they do that at? Make that make sense, because it don't make sense to me. So then we see that Brandy is supposed to meet up with Zoe and, you know, let him know what the women feel. Ain't nothing even to be said, because baby boy did not show up. And that was a telltale sign that he know that he was dead ass wrong, and the way that he communicated was disgusting. So yeah, that was pretty much it, y'all. That was the end of my review. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. Next week, I'm feeling like Shakira can go home. I want to see her go home before I see any of the other women leave. Y'all let me know what y'all thought. Let's get down in the comments and talk. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.